Welcome everyone to the 209 Journey podcast. I'm your host Luis, and before I introduce my special guest tonight, if y'all haven't followed the social media pages for the 209 Journey, go give them a follow. You can find them at the 209 Journey on Facebook and Instagram. On Instagram, just shout out to everyone who's followed that page because the last episode that I posted as of this recording was my interview that I did with John from Dutch Hollow Farms, which if y'all haven't checked out Dutch Hollow Farms, go check them out. And I know I got a ton more followers that came through that post. So just shout out to everyone because as I have said here for quite some time, I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers by the end of the year. And all y'all following me are helping me actually get to that goal. So that way we can get our content seen by more people, both the stories, the posts, all that. It's really awesome. So again, thank you so much for all the follows. Also check us out at the209journey.com so you can listen and watch the episodes on there as an alternative to going on the applications, to going on YouTube. That's an all-in-one spot there. Also, you can contact me on there if you yourself want to be on the show. Just make sure to tell me your story as well. If you know someone who would like to be on, or if you know someone who you want to refer and you want me to reach out to them, I don't mind doing so. Again, just let me know there on the website, the209journey.com. All right. Well, let me go ahead and introduce my special guest tonight. Her name is Julia Cardona. She actually is the co-owner of Julia Elizabeth Clothing and Emporium over at the Yosemite Street Village in Stockton. And y'all know I'm trying to interview more people in that particular street because there's a lot of interesting businesses there. So she just opened her shop about a month ago. And so welcome to a 209 Journey, Julia. How are you?
Good. Hi. I'm really excited to be here today. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Congratulations on opening a brick and mortar shop. I know that's really exciting, especially after having a business that, you didn't have a shop yet.
Right. We were completely online for the first, I'd say, 1 or 2 years of when I started this journey after college. So it's really exciting to be able to now be here in the shop today with you and have our physical brick and mortar here on Yosemite Street.
Yeah, and that's quite the street, right? I mean, we were talking offline. Like I interviewed one of your neighbors there, Laura from Terra Coffee. Shout out to her. I interviewed her last season. So I'm glad that you got to open in such a historic street in Stockton, right? Because I feel like everyone knows about Yosemite Street if you're from Stockton, especially.
Right, and I feel like it's even still growing, like you said, we're getting lots of new businesses, and the community here of shop owners and neighborhood friends and family members who come to support the shops is absolutely incredible. From day one and even before then, we've felt all of the love and support. So if you haven't been to Yosemite Street already, please come visit us and have some fun. We've got coffee, we've got karate, we've got Caterpillar Children's Boutique. So like you said, there's lots to explore, and we're even hoping for a few more new merchants. So we're up and coming, and we're really excited for the future.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And it's great that there's pretty much so many different things, right? You got your food, you got things to do there, so you could spend a whole day there and maybe
Yes,
not get through all the
absolutely.
businesses. Well, you were telling me that you were born and raised in Stockton, so tell me more about what it was like for you to grow up in Stockton and still be there to this day and have your business there now.
Sure. So my parents were born and raised here in Stockton, and so they've been here all of their lives. My mom and dad both grew up in this area near the Hagen Museum and Dameron Hospital and the Cathedral of Annunciation. I think those are kind of like some significant landmarks here in this area of town. And I think just because of the nature of how close our family members are, and we've got lots of family and friends in Stockton, that they kind of always knew that they wanted to continue that with my sister and I. So yeah, born and raised here. We grew up going to school. Started at St. Luke's Catholic School, which I love, and then we journeyed over to Annunciation. So that's where I come into that relationship with the cathedral. And then from there, we went to St. Mary's High School and on to University of the Pacific. And I think just growing up in Stockton, my sister and I have kind of had this journey of getting to know and explore lots of new areas and just getting really creative with our entertainment and meeting new people and taking advantage of all of the local merchants and opportunities that are happening from flea markets to farmers markets and events at the museum. And it's just a really great community of people. So to be able to grow up here in such a diverse and well-connected community. I feel really lucky. We have people who work in agriculture. We have people who work in communications and marketing. And just again, a really strong community of people who look out for one another. And I guess a lot of people don't always see it, but Stockton is just filled with, again, like amazing people who are talented and are always looking for new ways to improve our community and make it even better for those who are moving into Stockton now.
Yeah, no, it's really awesome to see just how much the city has grown, and like you said, all the people that are there trying to change the whole narrative because we talked about it offline, where people talk about all these bad things and all that, but there's so many good things going on that people only focus on like one or two little aspects, right? So I'm glad that you're doing that, that others are doing that. I mean, the last person I interviewed, Orlando Zeps, shout out to him. He moved to Stockton and he said the same thing, right, that you just mentioned. So I'm glad that we're hearing it over and over again with our guests, especially
Mhm.
those that are from Stockton, because we've had quite a few guests here, and it's just really nice to be able to hear that, and also for the people who are out there saying all those things to hear that as well. It's awesome. Well, I know that you ended up going to Pacific, you stayed local there, and you ended up majoring in communications, as you kind of inferred earlier about, communications there. So tell us more about what went behind, choosing to major in the field.
Well, I think it's been like a long journey to get to UOP. My sister and I, again, going back to, I guess, the question of growing up in Stockton, we've always seen University of the Pacific as like this really amazing college and center for people who not only wanted to achieve higher education and grow in their education, and then also having all these amazing athletes on campus. It's just a space that feels very welcoming, and again, it's a host site for people who are creatives and looking to network and just really have a community. So when I think of University of the Pacific, I think of a really strong, positive community. And I learned that since at a very young age, my sister and I attended the Tiger Cubs camps on campus. I don't know that they're still going on in the summertime, but it was basically like a really cool sports summer camp that you could attend from like kids 5 to like probably up through middle school or high school. And it was just the first time that I really got exposed to the campus. And my mom also took the time to take us on walks there, to ride our bikes to the campus, to go to the volleyball games to see the women play, or go to the baseball field. So we were always just really close to the university and involved in the university. So when it came time to senior year of high school and making that decision, like, where am I going to go to college? Like, a lot of people will tell you like they want to go out of town for college and see somewhere new besides Stockton. And I completely understand that. Like growing up, you want to explore the world and see new things and grow in that way. So that was a really heavy detail that was weighing on my mind when it came to deciding that as well. But when I was applying to UOP, I was approached to apply for the community involvement program, which you may or may not be familiar with. But it's a really great program, a scholarship program on campus for first generation college students from the local community. So I applied for CIP, I interviewed, and when I heard that I was accepted into the program, I felt like it was just a massive opportunity that I couldn't give up, and being able to go to what I considered one of my dream schools and have a scholarship like that. And part of the community involvement program is giving back. So volunteering, recording readings for students so they can see you read a book, um, collecting food for the food bank. So it's again just giving back to the community while also being able to have a cohort of people who are just like you on campus and are really walking this path for the first time, and having these great mentors on campus, whether that be the classmates in CIP who are older than you, juniors and seniors, or the faculty and staff who help run CIP and make it the incredible program that it is. Once I had really been introduced to that family of people, I felt like, again, like I have this opportunity in front of me and I feel really foolish if I don't take advantage of it. When you're on campus at the University of the Pacific, you get that Ivy League East Coast feel, but on the West Coast. And again, I wanted to go to a school where it wasn't so massive that I got lost in this crowd of people, but that I could also be in a space that was comfortable enough for me to adapt to college level learning and also get the attention from my professors and the opportunities to do cool internships while on campus. So when I was accepted, I made the decision, went to University of the Pacific. I actually enrolled in the business school, Eberhart School of Business on campus, and they're absolutely incredible. But I think just at this point in time, I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do, what area I really wanted to study and get into. So I was a business student for about a year. And then I took an economics class and I was like, no. So I was really trying to think, do I want to focus on finance? Do I want to focus on economics? Did I want to go into marketing? And so I've always been like a creative growing up alongside my sister. We've always just been we love expressing ourselves in that way. So my mind kind of focused and honed into wanting to work in communications, journalism, radio, creative writing, and public relations. And more so, those fell under the overall umbrella of communications and sort of the Media X, which is a newer program on campus, but under that umbrella of study more so versus the business route. I did continue to take a few different business courses, and I love, again, the business school is great on campus. So that's all good. It was just a personal decision to want to kind of move into this element of working more on like interpersonal communication, working on like how you tie in elements of psychology, you're tying in elements of how does social media affect the world today. And a lot of people, I think, don't always understand how valuable communications is as a major. It's often compared to studies like biology or the sciences or engineering, which are all fantastic. But I think if you're somebody who's still trying to figure out what do you want to do, but you have this kind of vague interest in this area of media and, again, relationships and communications and writing. Communications is great for that because one of the things that I learned with a student that really stuck with me is that communications isn't everything that we do. Communications is in the brands that you see on billboards, in the items that you see on your phone, in podcasts just like this one. And it's everywhere. And especially now living in an era of time where you have TikTok and Instagram that are really trailblazing these new ways of affecting like not only like the economy, but people who are breaking into the entertainment businesses. Just being a part of a generation that went through COVID and then it was introduced to this platform and seeing how it's able to change lives for small business owners or help somebody kickstart their career or network to get to a new place in their career. It's just amazing to see how communications really is interconnected again with everything that we do in the world. So again, that was one of the driving factors in my interest there. And I was just really curious about what more I could learn, what is beyond the title of communications, like I said. So you do get to dabble in the psychology side of it, the radio side of it, learning how to write. I took a class where I was doing screenwriting. I did a creative writing class where I got to start an idea for a novel that I wanted to write. I did acting behind the camera. So I was really able to open up new doors and really recognize different sides of myself that I might not have if I didn't decide to go down that route. So sorry, that was a little lengthy.
Oh no, that's all great. I'm glad that you mentioned that communications is like so important to that level of the other majors that you mentioned because it's right? I mean, like you said, especially the psychological aspect of it, right? One thing could change a lot, right? People are influencers, people say things and then everyone kind of like listens, right, to
And
that.
even if you're not a communications major, if you're able to have the opportunity to take a public speaking class or take advantage of a communications class, I've worked with leadership and other staff members who say, like, it's just as valuable as somebody on a pre-med track to be able to give a presentation on your study or the research that you've done, or as a physician or doctor, you have to be able to have those skills to communicate with your patient. So it really, again, is a valuable um, tool and a valuable area of study for people no matter what career you're going into.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, it's a great way to look at it because yeah, every single career doesn't matter how secluded it can be, right? You could be an accountant, you still have to at
Right.
some point present to others or share whatever it is that you're working on. So it's great that you mention it that way because we do need to make sure that we all have those communication skills amongst each other, even just among life, right? Just like talking to
Absolutely.
people, learning those different things to look out for, right? Especially when someone's like speaking and the proper ways of speaking and all that. And I think that even the best speakers, they always have something to improve on, right? Like there's
Absolutely.
always room for that. So I'm glad that you mentioned that to everyone there. But well, I want to start talking a little bit more about Sincerely too. You told me it's an Instagram page that you and your sister opened back in 2016. So tell me more about like what inspired you to start that page with your sister.
So I think I'm just like pulling out the memories for us here. I think what really started it is that my sister and I, it was during that era of time where Instagram and social media again was continuing to grow and it was becoming a thing to blog and to make fun creative accounts and just really express yourself. So for us, it was a form of a creative outlet and entertainment and a space where we could take these ideas of everyday things that we were coming up with, like whether that was a DIY craft or a really cool hole in the wall small business or event that we were visiting for the weekend, and put it on a platform to share with our friends and classmates. Um, for example, we've visited like museums in Sacramento. We've visited thrift shops in Modesto. We've gone to different events here in town. And you'd be really surprised. We have friends who say, "Hey, oh my gosh, like I love this recommendation. Like I'm gonna take my girlfriend there on a date now." Like people just really um, enjoy the information that we're passing along. They enjoy the creativity that's there. So again, it became like a hobby for us to just kind of while we're out exploring and coming up with new ways to entertain ourselves in an area where I think sometimes people it's easy to become bored or kind of have that idea that there's not much to do in Stockton. We kind of wanted to turn that narrative around and remind everyone that there are fun things that you can do on the weekend, whether it's something as simple as visiting a bookstore or painting pots and planting flowers in your garden, like just getting really creative and making the most of what we had. My sister and I, we didn't always have like a lot of money to spend growing up as teenagers in Stockton. So again, just getting really creative on a budget and doing positive things and sharing it with others, I think is what drove us to continue and start Sincerely too. And it's an extension of both of us. So just friends and family being able to see the two sisters, we're like best friends, we're always together. You might mistake us as twins, but there's a 3-year difference. So it's just a really cool space for us to again share those ideas and those natural periods of our life that have passed. Yeah,
No, that's awesome. I mean, going back, well, we're gonna keep going back to communication. So I feel like that's the whole theme here. But the power of social media, right, and being able to show people like these are the things that you could do in town, things that so many years ago we wouldn't have seen, right, unless someone would have told you like, hey, there's this thing going on here or that. But I mean, our phones are getting better with video. We're being able to like record even much higher quality video, and for us to have all these tools to be able to share it, to communicate all these different things going on with people on like different platforms, it's just I think helped our community so much. So I'm glad that you guys started this at this point like 8 years ago, and
hmm
it's just so cool, just to see how that evolves, how you could still keep doing that. And like you said, some of the people that have already messaged you that are actually going to these places that are inspired by seeing that, because as you're scrolling through the Instagram reels and you're seeing different things and all that, it's always really nice when you get to see things to do that are actually in your area, that aren't
Mhm.
sending you out to the Bay Area, out to even beyond, right? To like LA or somewhere over there, and actually saying like, hey, hold up, we actually have some things as well. Look at these
Mhm.
videos that look just as cool as those videos. They were made here. It's right here. So it's nice that, and us being able to do those things. I'm trying to do them myself here on this Instagram page for the 29 Journey. We can actually tell people like, hey, go check these things out. They're really cool. Look, we're using our like our knowledge on Instagram, our knowledge of like communication through these videos, through these reels, to actually help our communities to actually, go and stay here local. And I always say, if you stay local, you're gonna shop local, you're gonna eat local, everyone's gonna benefit as a whole, right? And it all starts with doing something as simple as doing a video. That's why I always try to encourage people to do what you're doing as well. You go somewhere, you like it. If you like doing what we like doing, right, which is go on social media and
Mhm.
share content, then go and do that, right? Go help that small business that might not have the budget or the knowledge to do all those things, right?
Exactly, yeah. It's the best way to, again, advertise for a small business or just share an idea. It's very simple as taking a photo and sharing it on your story. So,
Yeah, like just put some together, get do portrait mode, make it look really nice, and then
yeah.
people are gonna are gonna do that. So another advantage over all these different again tools that we have to our disposal and filters on Instagram and all that stuff. Um, well, I want to hear more about how Julia Elizabeth Clothing and Emporium got started. Before we talk about the brick and mortar and the process of opening the shop and how that's been like, just tell me more about how the online store got started, how you started going to all these different events and having like your own booth.
Sure. So I feel like my journey as an entrepreneur has been pretty lengthy and a little windy. So growing up, you might be familiar with it. My aunt owns Bellissima Boutique on the Miracle Mile, and she's owned like three different stores at one point in Tracy, in Modesto, and Stockton. And we grew up around the environment of working in the boutique and helping her on social media and just being around a family business like that. And then came again college where I was really starting to learn new skills and take these courses and grow as a student and a hopeful future entrepreneur. Sophomore year was when the pandemic hit and we were at home. And it was also during a point in time where I was in a social media class and they were telling us to get really creative. So I decided to do mine. Project on social media as an inspired read where I was a book Instagram, otherwise known as a bookstagram. And I feel like this kind of was another small point of like the stepping stone on my journey. I was in my bedroom every day, like doing these flat lays of different books and like book hauls that I was doing and reviews and taking really cute photos, which if you aren't on book talk or you're not familiar with like the girlies and the people who love reading and have an obsession then on Bookstagram, you're able to share videos and recommendations, and that just became one part of my passion while being at home during the pandemic. And then from there, I said, I love seeing people on Bookstagram and on Instagram in general who started these Etsy shops. So from there, I decided, what kind of Etsy shop can I open? And I really have always liked drawing and painting and being creative. So I had gotten gifted a new iPad and learned about the app Procreate, where you can draw and make designs and um, again take those designs and use them for whatever it is you're working on. So I started designing like wall art, like 8.5 by 11 prints. I'm a Harry Styles One Direction fan. I'm a BTS fan. I'm just a pop girly. Like I just love pop culture and entertainment and all of the fun that comes with that. So at this point in time, I was like, hey, girls like me are always looking for wall decor, things to frame. They're looking for stuff for their dorms when we hopefully go back to school some point. And it was just a point in time where I think everyone was taking up new hobbies and getting creative. So I started my Etsy shop and I had that for about a year. I felt like I was really successful in it. I had probably close to like 1,000 sales throughout that first year. And I just felt like it was like dipping my toe into the pool of being an entrepreneur, owning my own business and managing content, managing social media, managing what I was designing and printing, and also managing getting those orders out on time. So it was really getting that firsthand experience of being my own boss and a smaller, again, smaller size scale of what I have now. So went back to school, and come senior year, it was time to obviously kind of start thinking, what do I want to do after college? Obviously, no big rush. Like, take your time to figure it out. You want to do an internship, if you want to start in one area of work, if you want to take a whole year off and study abroad or explore America, amazing. So I was just really trying to think, what can I do? Because I really want to. I was just really excited. I was really inspired to want to go out there and start my business as soon as I could, within reason. So I said, well, my mom came to me and she said, let's start online. Like, we live in a world today where people have online shops, and like you've sold before on Etsy. So why not start your own platform for Julia Elizabeth, or this business that you want to have, and have your women's boutique start in your bedroom and here in the house, and cut down on costs that way, and really just give yourself some time to figure out what your brand looks like and what it is you want to carry, and again, get that experience. So when it came to naming my shop Julia Elizabeth, I don't always remember the distinct moment that I remembered the name, but I like to say that I came up with it because it was a business that I was starting, for women and accessories and home decor, and just a creative space where I wanted people to be able to come and enjoy themselves and take a step away from the outside world and life and drama or whatever negative thing is kind of feeding on you for that day, and you have a space to come and just enjoy yourself and have fun again. So I said, that's a part of me, and everything that I put in the shop is a part of me, and it's always going to evolve as I continue to grow as a person, and it's an ever evolving brand. So I said, I'll name it Julia Elizabeth after me, since I'm always growing and I want the business to always continue to evolve and grow. So started online, and from there we started um, participating in different pop-ups and merchant opportunities in the area. We've done the Lodi Farmers Market in downtown, so you have to get up at crazy hours of the day, like 4 o'clock in the morning, and pack up all of your belongings. And I think the more challenging side of being a boutique who is doing this is that my family, who are very supportive of me, would help me pack up all of our clothing into these, plastic boxes. And we load up like 8 to 10 of these containers into 2 cars. And then we have a tent that we're bringing, and we're bringing 2 tables and clothing racks. And you're going over there at like 5 in the morning, and you're setting it up so that you're ready to go at 7:30 a.m. So it's no small task. It's not easy, but it is really rewarding no matter the outcome at the end of the day, because you get to meet new people while you're out there. You get to experience the market or the other merchants who are there with you, and just enjoy the day in a new spot. We've gone as far as up to Jackson Rancheria in Sutter Creek, Jackson, California area, where my sister now lives. And that's where they have what they call the Makers Market. So that's another one that we continuously went to and were merchants at. And again, you get to meet so many amazing makers and other small businesses. And I think that was another stepping stone into growing as an entrepreneur, really putting in the work, really putting in the hours, and all of the sweat and the dust and the early mornings at like 4 in the morning again, all feel really worth it, because I feel like it's kind of come to fruition and made me stronger and more experienced and more determined than ever. And that's what eventually led to this past spring, when we were starting to look into what spaces might be available locally to start our brick and mortar. And we were approached by a friend, Melissa, who owns Caterpillar Children's Boutique. If you haven't visited them, they're on Yosemite Street here with us. And she's really amazing because her business is all uh, thrifted, but also new and used children's goods and clothing. So she has really affordable prices and also really great finds, and just a really great space for moms and their kids to go shopping locally, and take advantage of a small business who's there to support young families and those who might even be looking to pass on their gently used belongings to someone else who might be in need of those. So she approached us saying, I'm looking to move into a bigger spot as I grow my business, and we need someone else to kind of take over this shop here. So I heard that you have your business online and you might be looking for a new spot. And so when we heard about it, we kind of thought on it for a couple of weeks, and then decided, you know what, let's go for it. like, it's a great spot. We knew Yosemite Village, again, has a great community and is up and coming, like I've said. And it just felt like the right time to take advantage of it and transition from online into in-person brick and mortar and start somewhere because you got to start somewhere, right? So you might
Mhm.
as well just dive right in and get going, which is again easier said than done because we decided that we were going to open in August and we got the keys closer to like July, I want to say. So in about a month's time, we were able to come in and get everything painted and moved in. So it was a really tight timeline. But again, my family is so supportive and of me and my sister, and like I would not be able to be here in the shop today without them. Like they made everything happen. And so yeah, part of it was again moving in person within that month, and then behind the scenes beforehand, organizing content, organizing product, and really envisioning how we wanted the space to kind of turn into Julia Elizabeth. So it's been a long journey, but also a very short journey this past summer. 'Cause this summer, this is like Stockton's hottest summer or something they were saying, and I was like, oh, of course it is. Of course it's 103, and we're toting things through the parking lot back here. Like I love this. But yeah, so that's kind of the shorter, even though that was really long, version of that story.
It's just one more challenge, right? I mean, it's hot. Just one more challenge, one more thing to add to the story, right? So years from now, whenever people ask you and they want to hear the more detailed version, maybe of it too, then you can say, "Oh yeah, it was really hot." That's another
Yeah, we
challenge.
have
Yeah,
lots of stories, so come approach me and I'll tell you some more.
but yeah, no, you might be right. I think it might be the hottest year, maybe for sure, because it feels like we've had so much more days and a late summer. I mean, we're still kind of, even though we shouldn't be dealing with summer now, we're still dealing with summer, but it's just
I'm a
ongoing.
fall lover, so I have a blazer on. It's 93 degrees outside. I'm crazy. Like I want it to be fall. Like let's get this moving.
Yeah, unless you have your AC like on like really cold right now, then that's
Yes. That's the only way I'm surviving in here.
and it works, right? You're also like would you say like you're also like just calling for fall weather, right? I feel like just wearing the clothing.
Manifesting.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
manifesting it. So it's gonna hopefully happen soon. But I don't know. It looked like fall weather was gonna happen last week, and then
Yeah.
we got played with. But I'm hopeful. I'm like October. You got to make it happen. uh,
Right.
but that's really interesting. You know, I think there's always all the challenges that you deal with, especially transitioning, like you said, going from having the pop-ups to now having a shop. I mean, when it comes down to it, if you have that opportunity, sometimes you have to take advantage of it, just like you did there. And being in such a really important community, like I mentioned it earlier, you mentioned it now, like it just means so much more when you know that you're in a spot where there's so much more established businesses there that have people that regularly visit them that can also go and check you out as well. It feels good, right? Rather than maybe going to another spot that might not have as much established businesses, or they might have maybe just not the same sense of community that they have there in that street. I mean, I can't think of any other place around even the 209 that has such a strong community like that street that you're in, because they do more than just it's more than just the businesses that are on that street, but they also do events there. All the businesses coordinate with each other. They close the street there, and they partner with different organizations to have different things go on there throughout the year, right? So it's like just a
Yeah.
small community, right? It's not just a street.
Yeah. No, definitely. You really explained it well. Everyone just really looks out for one another, and like we just have felt all of the love since we've been here for sure. And again, it's right here in like right in the center of a neighborhood, one of Stockton's older neighborhoods. And I just love old neighborhoods. I love original homes. I just love historical things like that, and I love the charm that it brings, and I love the side of Stockton that I mean, like, my mind immediately goes to what's called the Fab 40s in Sacramento, I think. They have these really beautiful homes, and I always say, like, we have homes just like that here in Stockton, and they're right in this neighborhood, and so it's so quaint and cute and, easy to love Yosemite Street, and again, yeah, I everyone here is continuing to look for new ways to, bring more people to enjoy events and make spaces available for new vendors, and, again, more to come, always here. Mm.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned those. Yeah, because I've driven around those neighborhoods between the Miracle Mile neighborhoods, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
just so many homes that I wish that they made homes now like they used to, right? Because it's like everyone had their own unique, design.
Yes.
You didn't have these like cookie cutter homes that like your
Right.
home looks like another neighbor's home. It's just it was so much better, and then you just had a bigger space. You had a bigger yard. It's just yeah, I mean, it's awesome the people that still own their home there and that
Mhm.
generations upon generations still get to, be in those neighborhoods because those neighborhoods look like they're straight out of a movie. Like what you
Oh,
see in
yeah,
movies, it's like
easily.
there.
Like, I'm surprised there's not more movies being filmed here, like, we have such great, like, spaces and, like, again, like, the Hagen Museum, the university campus. I mean, we've had Indiana Jones. Fun fact, I was a tour guide on campus. So fun fact, they filmed Indiana Jones: Raiders of the Lost Ark on the university's campus, if you didn't know that. So there's just, like, a lot of really cool history in this area, and again, to be a part of, like, a really long-standing community space and, area where the newer families who are moving in, the new generations, but also the old generations, like everyone just coming together to have a really good time and support something really positive.
I didn't know that. Maybe a lot of the people listening probably didn't know that too. Now I want to go and I never seen that movie. I know I haven't
Oh,
seen it.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think
but need
you
to
can
go.
see it's the Conservatory of Music, so it's like in the first portion of the movie, maybe in the first 10 minutes where they're revealing the university where um I'm not an Indiana Jones fans, but where he's a professor at. That's like you see the outward face of the conservatory there.
Wow. Yeah. See things like
And
that. They
other
need to
movies
be.
on campus. Flubber. Flubber was filmed on campus
Oh,
with Robin
really?
Williams.
I
Yes.
watched that one. Yeah. I didn't even.
Yeah.
Well, see things like this, right? I think we need to like document this and tell people like, hey, so I know everyone wants to go to LA to go to all these different places where they film stuff and all that, but hey, we have places out here. They've actually looked at us, right? So it just needs
Yes.
to be mentioned more, and people need to that people are going to see those places differently now, right? As we're saying these things, as people tell someone the word of mouth, like they're
Yeah.
gonna have more tourists now, right? And but it's great, just because it's so awesome to know that they and this was years ago, right? That they did these movies
Mhm.
and they had an eye on us too. So it's like, well, years later, why not go back and and
Mhm.
look at all these things we have? Yeah, but I know they're working on that. I know that. I mean, the rumors were going around that they wanted to bring Fantastic Four to Stockton,
Oh,
right? Because and I'm not a Fantastic Four fan myself. I haven't really seen the movies, but apparently it seems like Stockton was referenced in one of the movies. Must have been the whatever was the recent one,
I think
and so
so.
they were making the
I
effort,
remember that.
right? And I don't know what happened. I haven't like followed, but I know it was like maybe 2 3 years ago that they were mentioning that. So there was that
Yeah.
too. And then I guess now that we're on the topic of these things, I believe it was last year. Leonardo DiCaprio was filming a movie. I
That's
forgot the
right.
name of it, but there was a
I don't
movie
remember it
downtown.
either. That's
But
right. That was a super big deal. So I guess you'll be seeing us on the big screen pretty soon.
oh yeah, so they're doing things, and I'm really glad that it's happening in Stockton because if we have a city in the 209 that has places or like maybe the majority of places, it's Stockton, right? You have the downtown area. I mean, even Yosemite Street Village. I'm just saying,
Mhm.
like, someone could do that. But I think the more movies, the more people that are also interested in cinematography. Even if you do your own short movie, I mean, heck, there's social media now. Something can go viral, and it could be like just someone's like fun project of like, hey, I wanted to do a movie based in Stockton. Here it
Yeah.
is. So those things can happen. um, well, you mentioned pop-ups earlier, so I want to know more about that first pop-up that you went to. It was the first time that you were going from selling just on Etsy to now having your own like spot, or now you had to interact with people, and now you had to display things there in your own spot. First of all, tell us where that was at, and just what was the feeling of now getting out of the virtual space and also now selling in person?
Yeah, sure. So going back to that, I think the very first pop-up that we ever did was actually at the Well, which is when you're going downtown towards downtown Stockton. It's a coffee shop, and also they have like really cool classes. I think they host events there. There's like this space on the side of the, is it the Well? I think I have that right.
I
The
think it is,
Well.
yeah.
I just want to make sure I have it right. So it's the Well, and they have this space on the side, and they were having a maker's market, and it was obviously local, and they were looking for merchants, and we were invited to kind of sign up and join in and become a merchant for that. And so I said, hey, this is local, easy to do. Let's try it out. But we were really like not out of our element, but really trying to figure out like everything that we would need for that day and like how did we want to set it up, like what would really make sense for like our boutique. So that first go around, all we had was like a table and some like crates and like displays that we were makeshifting with like one or two tables. So it was really the really simple version of of our shop. We basically had like some graphic tees, some jewelry, accessories. We didn't bring the clothing racks. We didn't bring the full shebang that day, but it was a really good first time to again get to know like the schedule of getting there an hour or two early and setting everything up and getting like your Square on the go payment system set up and figuring all of those little details out for the first time and working out the bumps and all of those little issues. But overall, it was a good experience. It was a smaller market, but it was just the right size for us to again get experience and say, hey, like I think we want to do this again, and let's see where other opportunities pop up around the area of 209 or beyond. Um, so yeah, from there we did the Lodi one, like I mentioned. We a lot of the main market where we continuously were merchants at was again the Makers Market up in Jackson Rancheria where they hosted it. And so, and I don't know why, because that's like an hour drive away. So again, that involved us getting up at like waking up at 3, getting ready because you have to be presentable, right? And
Oh, yeah.
making sure everything was ready to go, and then leaving the house by like 4:30 to get there by like 5:30 and moving with you imagine all these vendors moving in like a line with their trucks and they've got all this supplies with them, and so you have your square that you're assigned with your number and you go, okay, like it's go time, we have like 30 minutes, like let's unload the truck. It felt like we just loaded it, but now we're unloading it. And so you're taking it all apart, you're unboxing, you're hanging up clothing on hangers, you're putting up the racks, you're setting out displays, like things from big to small, like little mannequins, figuring out a little makeshift like stand that I could put my name sign up on to advertise Julia Elizabeth your shop. And again, every time we went, we learned something new and were able to kind of adapt. It really started out with us not wanting to invest, or like at least I didn't want to invest, and I didn't always like have the money to invest in like a big pop-up tent because it's a big investment. So we started out with like bringing a single small umbrella, and we were just out in the elements. So they've got fall markets, they've got summer markets, they've got winter markets. So we've been out for a summer market without a tent. We've been out for a winter market without a tent. So it goes from like days where it's like 100 degrees and we're like under the sun trying to like, hey, like come shop with us. Like we're sweating, but we're having fun. And then we've also been on the other side of it where it's like freezing cold. I have like a little fur coat on, but I'm still like shaking and it's starting to rain. And so you're like really bracing yourself for all the different elements and the wind starts knocking over the mannequins. Like everyone is really like going through it as a merchant. But on the other side of that, there's lots of good times where we have great weather and you have all of your stuff, you get set up successfully and you've got a great crowd and you get to meet new people, like I've said, and introduce yourself and your business's story and make friends and make sales, and you just feel like you have a really successful day. And again, I always feel successful no matter the outcome because it's a fun experience. You learn more, or you just you grow a little stronger from it. And we always pick up some new trick or make some new connection, no matter what. So that's always a plus. Um, and then at the end of the day, you get to pack it all up again, back into the car and make the trek down back home, where you just leave everything in the car and you pass out. You take a shower first and then you pass out in bed and you sleep and hibernate and and then talk about it the next day about how much fun it was. But yeah, those aren't always easy. And so I commend all small businesses and merchants who continually show up for the community and are a part of those, whether they're big or small, because they are forms of entertainment for the community and a space where people can go and hang out with friends, meet new friends, go on a date. Like, people of all walks of life are attending those. And supporting small businesses. And so I always love hearing that those are going on still in the 209 and that new ones are coming soon. I think we have a new market that might be popping up on the Miracle Mile soon.
Mhm.
I'm blanking on the name of it, but I know they're going to be a merchant market, so excited for that to come. And again, like I love saying shop small because I think it is important in an era of time where we have Amazon and these big box stores where it's so easy to just go click and add it to your cart, or you have these influencers saying link in my bio, like go to my like to know it. Like I'm guilty of going to those. I won't say that I've never done that because I love Amazon, but at the same time, um, just remember to come out and support small and think of those merchants who are showing up to those markets on the weekends or on those early mornings, and just know that they worked really hard to be there for you. And even just saying like a few kind words, no matter, you don't have to spend anything, just having a conversation or even coming in to look, we love it. And we feel your support. So I'm really proud to be a part of that community of people who have been merchants and that era of my business. And we might continue to do those in the future, but we're kind of still getting settled here in our brick and mortar. So I'm not sure I'm ready to go back out and brave the elements again yet. But it's a great experience. And again, yeah, it was a great period of time for us to really pick up like what works best for us, what doesn't, and learn new things as a business owner.
Well, thanks for mentioning the whole like experience of being a business owner out there at a pop up at a farmer's market, all that. Because it's nice to hear that, especially I think for the people who don't go through that, right? Because you go to places, you see everyone's like table, you see everyone with their tents, or the ones who are able to have the tents out there
Yes,
too. But you see people's displays
I
and
will
all
say
that.
we eventually got a tent.
Okay, okay, okay.
We did get one. It was just like the first like five that was like, oh,
Okay.
let's see how long we can go without one. And then I said, no, I'm gonna break down and get one.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was gonna say like, whoa, like that you gotta
Yeah,
face a lot of the elements without it. But, it's really nice to be able to hear all the different things that people have to go through to get all that set up. So when you're going out there, when you're just like walking around, you get more of an appreciation over all the different things that people do, both the people who like yourself are selling like a product or the people who are selling food. There's just so much that goes behind that, especially getting there at those early hours and setting up and taking down and going back and and all that.
right.
So great to hear all those things. Well, for those people that are listening right now, I know that they won't be able to see the little tour that you'll give us here on the video. So I thought to help those people out, can you like describe before we start the tour, like what are some things that our listeners can find at the shop?
So I think the amazing part about Shop Julia Elizabeth, clothing and Emporium, my sister and I decided on the word Emporium because like I love the idea of like a really cute apothecary, something that feels like anthropology, something that feels like a community space where you could find a little bit of everything. So that's where the Emporium side of it comes in. And my mom makes jewelry. Her name is Created by Sage on Instagram, and she likes making earrings, necklaces, bracelets, all kinds of jewelry. And she does a really great job at it. And then my sister has tailored things, and so her and my mom both love vintage items, whether it's really cool vintage dishes or like the blue and white like English dishes that you people collect or are always looking for. Just really like unique pieces from like garden goods or baskets, or you could find note cards here. You could find the women's clothing. So a little bit of everything. We've got handmade goat soap from a local maker who I met up while I was doing one of the pop-ups in Jackson. And she has a little goat farm and she makes these goat soaps, which are absolutely like incredible, smell amazing. We've got candles. We've got, what else? I've got pillows. I've got really cool quilted makeup bags, quilted purses, pillows again, bookmarks, book lover here, so of course I had to bring the bookmarks into the shop. We sell books, we sell children's books. So a little bit of everything that just really feels like a really fun shop to come and find something new every single time. If you're looking to gift someone something for an anniversary or for a birthday gift, Christmas is coming up, or again, you just want to come and treat yourself and find a little trinket, or again, looking for something that's special to wear, we're the perfect shop to come and have some fun in and treat yourself.
Awesome, yeah. A little bit of everything for everyone, and like you said, yeah, Christmas is, I guess around the corner, I could say, right? Because I'm already seeing
I
even some
know.
stores have Christmas stuff, and it's like, okay, that's fine,
Halloween was
right?
in July. We're on Christmas now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then New Year's will be next month, so like start getting your 2025
Yes.
stuff. But yeah, it's never too early to get ready for all that. Especially, I always say, just beat the. I mean, if that even happens, still, right? I'm like, beat the lines and all that because everyone's just ordering
Oh.
online. But but get ready before, right? Just like prep for
Mhm.
those things, and if you have something in mind, go and get it too as well. Well, now for the people, and again, sorry the people who are listening, go watch the video recording. Again, an excuse to go watch it, and we'll like transition it here for the podcast listeners. But for those people watching, can you give us a tour of the shop and basically what you just described right now? But we can now actually see it visually, and I'll have your screen show up
Sure.
here, so
Okay. Let me,
shows up there.
oh, front and center. Okay, let me flip the camera. I have a ring light, guys. I'm sorry, I'm guilty of that. I wanted cute lighting. So let me flip this.
It's all good.
Okay, let's see. And I have you on a stand because I'm a 24-year-old girl, so of course I have a stand for my TikToks and my videos. Oh, let me try. I'm trying to yeet my phone off of this. Okay, here we go. Let's see, settings. You probably can see my face really close, and then we will go
Maybe I should have done the full.
back camera.
Well, it's not full screen,
Okay,
but I should. Here you
okay,
go.
okay. Let me fix it. There we go. That was weird. All right, so we're in the shop. Let me walk you back towards the front, but you could kind of see all of the clothing and mannequins and the pillows. But let's start, and we bring our sign in, so that's not usually here, but we'll start at the front when you come into the shop. And this is like our little fall area. We like garden goods, so just a little bit of everything. These are real pumpkins, but you can find like this little guy here is like a little decorative doll. We sell these for your home, really cute for the kitchen area, or just a space around the home. And then again, just lots of little fun finds for fall. I'll come this way. Um, my sister paints these cards and also tags, which are different little fruits and items, which are really cute. I think if you're looking to have a little postcard for someone that's handmade. She also dabbles in painting, so we have the little ghosty painting here. And I feel like the thing is, people are not always sure what to do with stuff like this, but these are great just for like next to your bed on the nightstand, maybe a bookshelf in the kitchen, just to kind of decorate the home for fall, right? And then again, some other little fall goodies and items. We've got the clothing. So the clothing racks are always changing. I did have it categorized by like colors, but now I've just kind of blended. But we've got like really cool shoulder bags for those who are travelers or hikers, and then a little bit of everything. When I'm shopping for our clothing, I really try to make it items that are good for everyone from age like teens to even people who have come in and shopped and they're in their 80s. So just something for women and people of all ages to come and find something to wear, whether it's blouses or a really cute set like this one for fall. Again, hats. And these are the little quilted bags that are handmade by a maker that I go through, and she does an amazing job. So those come in different sizes, small or like a larger size. And then this way we travel, a little bit of everything on this backside. The graphic tees are always popular, sweaters. We've got this colorful cabinet where I keep, again, a variety of goods. The quilted bags, we've got the books and the really cute ghost mugs. Like these are super fun. So lots of great items to gift and enjoy. These are super popular. These are little mini puzzles, and we had a mom who came in and shared with us that her daughter's away at college and she loves doing puzzles, but obviously not always a ton of table space in college in your dorm room. So she got her a few of these because they end up coming out like a 5x7 size, maybe a little bit smaller, but they're super fun to kind of enjoy. And then other little gifting goods, more bags, more racks, clothing. And then we kind of blend again the vintage home decor in as you kind of go along. So it's a bit of a journey when you come in here, but it's a fun space. You're always finding something new. We have customers who come in and tell us like they find something new every time they come into the shop, and it's really fun for them. So we even have little gifty things as fun as these little mice with bath towels. Like, I don't know that you necessarily have to have it, but like, come on, girls, like, put them in a little teacup and put them in your bathroom, and then you have a little friend. So it's just little fun, gifty items like that. Oh my God. And then you come this way, and this is like the stationery area. I make these stickers, so anyone who's a stickers person, I always try to make a few new ones every year to kind of blend those. The greeting cards, so happy birthday or celebrating like an anniversary or something really special. These are really popular. These are the bookmarks. There's always something new to find in the shop. This is a really cool painting area. This girl, her name is Lori Catherine, and she's actually on the East Coast, but she's a vendor who I get her prints from. And I just think these are really special. We have people who really like this sort of Nancy Myers, Hamptons, sort of just classic vintage look. And you can use them for, again, maybe a baby room, nursery, or your bedroom, or just somewhere really sweet to like frame these and put them somewhere special in your home. And I've got the example one right here. It's a really cool frame.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so then you're coming this way and my crazy setup, but this is the counter. It's usually better organized. We've got a few more trinkets and items for you to shop over here. And then on this side, we'll kind of go back this way. Again, more clothing as you come in. Really cool basket of unique vintage art and finds for you to look through. And then we've got the main table. So this is always changing. Basically every week we're swapping things out and coming up with new displays. But we've got sunglasses, my mom's charm necklaces that she does. Those are really popular right now. So those who are looking for charm necklaces, lots of handmade earrings that she does. So lots of really fun goodies and gifts, like I've said. These are super cool bags that are from the UK. Really fun. And again, the children's books that I've mentioned before. I'm a book lover, so I really love promoting reading and having that available in the shop. I think we were talking about possible future ideas or what I would want to have in the future, and I would love to be a bookstore owner, but we will see. Then you've got the mirror, kind of wave high. Mannequin, come this way. And it continues. So we have some pretty big space, surprisingly.
Oh, well.
And then you've got this rack, which is really fun. This is where we keep the candles and other little home items. So people who like collecting glasses, or we have a community of women who it doesn't seem like it, but people love these little like milk serving containers, and they're like vintage. Some are more like expensive porcelain pieces, but yeah, they're just really cool, fun finds, again, for those who are vintage lovers and enjoy having little gifty items for friends or for their homes. This is a really cool brand. It's called Chapters Tea and Coffee, and I've already sold a few of these, but these are the last of them. Like this is The Hobbit reference, I believe. And then we had Pride and Prejudice theme, but they're teas and coffees. So you can take this and you can brew it. It's a tea, and you can take it home and enjoy that tea. But yeah, just a little bit of everything. Then it continues on this way. Another fun cabinet of goodie items. These were those blue dishes, but we've had customers who are returning customers that just love coming in and spending time. They say, oh, I'm like decorating a new spot in my kitchen, and she'll come in and she'll find like 5 new things that she just has to have, and there's new stuff every week. Have our little Halloween area. My sister kind of made these little homemade ornaments, and they're fun to hang. As you can see, she did little examples there. And dressing room. So if you're coming in to try on the clothing, we have a space for you to change and try those on. And it continues in this back area. We were really trying to get creative what to do back here, so we did sort of like a hanging bar and some curtains to make it feel kind of homey, and then the baskets and lights to kind of bring a little more life into the area. Um, and yeah, we just got more, even more home decor and really cool finds. And this actually changes for every season. It was originally a summer theme, but now it's sort of in its fall element of time. But yeah, this is the shop. And again, there's just always something new and fun to discover every week. So I feel really lucky to be able to share it with you.
Yeah, no, it's really awesome. Thanks for sharing, giving us a tour so you could see everything too. You have a lot of things there, and I think that anyone can go there and spend quite some time in seeing every little thing that you just shared with us. So,
Yes, so much.
well, yeah, thanks again for sharing the whole shop. Like I said, you could spend quite some time if you're actually like going there any day. So make sure that you get there before they close, right? Because can you tell us like the hours, days that the shop is open?
Sure. So we're open right now from Wednesdays to Sundays. Wednesday and Thursday gets a little complicated. Wednesday and Thursday we're open 1:30 to 4:30. Fridays and Saturdays we're open 10:30 to 4:30. And then Sundays we're open 10:30 to 2. So always open 10:30 to about 4:30 is our popular days, Friday and Saturday. And then during the week, my mom helps me because I actually still work at UOP. So I work full time and I help her on the weekends. So she's here during the week, but you'll find me here Saturday, Sunday.
Cool. Hey, those are great hours. I feel like those are just the right hours
Yeah,
to be
and they
open
might
and
change in the future depending on things, but yeah, current hours right now.
cool. Well, I got two more things. One is kind of what you referenced earlier when we were on the video and we were doing the tour there. But in the next 5, 10 years, say like you just happen to have like so much more money to put into the business, like where do you see the business growing into? Do you see yourself like having another space, selling more things? Like what would you do in like 5, 10 years?
In 5 to 10 years, I feel like I would hope that we could grow into an even bigger space or maybe another location. Um, I would love to still be here because again, I really love the community and Yosemite Street as a whole. And I think I would want it to evolve. My sister and I, we love Joanna Gaines. If you know who that is, Chip and Joanna from, she owns the brand Magnolia and she has like Magnolia Farms in Waco, Texas. And so her brand includes products in Target. She's got a restaurant, she's got a coffee shop. And it's sort of this one whole space where on Magnolia Farms, when you go to visit, the coffee shop's there, the other little shop is there. So everything's on the same like area of land. So I would like to like do something similar where I'm able to like have a really cool maybe block of few different businesses where it's like I have the clothing and Emporium here, I have the bookshop, I have the cafe. So that's dreaming pretty big. Um, but I'm hoping that we can grow into at least just having this become even more successful and have another location somewhere in Stockton or again maybe somewhere locally in the 209, another spot and just continue to be a creative and provide cool spaces for people to come and enjoy.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. It'd be cool to have a spot where you can actually have coffee and have all the things that you sell there, more books and all that. You would keep people there for a really long time. That's for sure.
Yeah,
They'd have so many different things there, and whatnot. It would almost be like a little like Barnes and Noble, but like a
right.
smart experience of
Something
that.
really cool, yeah, like that.
We definitely need more of that again. I know that, like you mentioned earlier with Amazon, it's great. I mean, we all use it and all that still, but like that's kind of like forced all these different bookstore experiences out, right? All the different things that people used to do, the coffee shops inside the stores and all that, they're kind of slowly drifting away. So we need to somehow bring that back because I know people want that, right? I don't think anyone could say like, "Oh, we didn't like that," because it was a good experience to be able to go there, get some coffee, and then also like read a book and all that. So,
Right.
is everything okay?
Yeah. I know I
I
heard
thought
something. I think something fell, but it's okay.
okay, all right, yeah. I was like, What's going on there?" So yeah, but those are things that people, again, I think really enjoyed, and You know, I feel like we're gonna see that be an even bigger trend. These 5 to 10 years, like we're talking about now, I think more and more people are gonna want to see that again. And sure, it's nice to get a book really quick from Amazon, but then what, right? It's like people don't just want to read the book by themselves, right? It's so much
Yeah,
better to have a book club and all
a
that.
space where
So
you could have a book club or an event or just come hang out with friends, right? Yeah.
that's gonna keep happening too, and I'll connect offline with you because I have a past podcast guest who actually does that as well. So if
Oh,
anyone is
awesome.
into a book club, yeah, I have a past guest and more people that are trying to do more of those things. At least, I mean, I'm speaking here in Modesto because I'm from here, uh, but I know there's more people here that are actually trying to do more in-person events with book clubs and also partner with coffee shops, different places. So that's maybe a start to what
Mhm.
you're envisioning of just having all in one place. So it's not so much of a special event, but it's like, hey, we have weekly events,
Mhm.
not just the one
Exactly.
time thing there. Well, one last thing for the people who are listening, for the people who are watching, where could they follow the shop to find out more about the new items that you have there? And also, maybe if they're not from here but do want to also shop online, where can they shop online?
So our Instagram is at shop Julia Elizabeth. So just SHOP shop Julia Elizabeth, JuliaElizabeth Elizabeth, how it sounds. One word on Instagram. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and you can find all of our updates on there. We're constantly adding new things onto our Instagram stories as far as new items, new arrivals, posting new reels of, again, similar events that are coming up. We just had a fall gathering last weekend here on Saturday, which was really cool, to kind of kick off fall, despite the warmer weather. And so we hope to have even more cute little events like that in the shop or nearby on Yosemite Street, and collaborations. So check out the Instagram. Be sure to follow us for updates, and stay tuned through there. You can shop online through shopjuliaelizabeth.com. That the website is currently going to go under construction because I'm going to be adding some new elements to it and updating some items. But yeah, feel free to check it out so you can get familiar with it. We are online and, we can ship. So if you want to DM us about an item you're interested in and want us to hold it, or you want to DM us and, we can sort out the details even through Instagram about where to ship it for you, we're happy to do that as well.
Awesome. And I'm glad that like you did a tour. Well, for those who were actually watching, if not, go and watch the video recording of this too. And so that way people can say like, I really like that. Like, hey, can you? It's not in the
Yeah.
shop, so it's another way. So I'm glad that that's an option for them as well. But this was really awesome, Julia. Thank you for being on the podcast. Best of luck with the business. Again, congratulations on having this brick and mortar shop open. Looking forward to the next 5 to 10 years and that idea that you have in mind actually like happening, because it would be really awesome to have a space like that here in the community that people can go and enjoy a good book, look at all these awesome little products to purchase, and also like be able to enjoy a coffee and just have a space for people to be outside of their homes and not so much on their devices, right? And actually talk to other people and communicate, right? Just like you
Hmm.
mentioned earlier. So
Yes. Well, thank you for having me. This has been fun.
once again, thank you to Julia for being on the podcast. Another reminder, if you haven't followed the 209 Journey on the socials, give it a follow. You can find it on Facebook and Instagram at the 209 Journey. On Instagram, I'm trying to grow that page, trying to post more content on there. You guys have maybe seen a Modesto Nuts video there that I posted just recently as of this recording. Before that, I posted a video of Mocha Magic. So I'm trying to do more of those things outside of Modesto, of course, as well. I know I've been just posting those two here, but trying to post more videos so that way, as we mentioned before in this episode, we can highlight more of the stuff going on around the 209 and also the businesses, especially the ones that I've already interviewed, also on video, because this podcast has been going on for a while. If you guys could see, we're on season 3 now. I posted quite a few episodes for season 1 and season 2. There's a lot of business owners that are amongst those podcast guests that I have there. So I'm trying to go back to their businesses so you guys can get a visual of their business as well. So follow that page so you can look at reels that I'll be posting about their businesses, about potential like future podcast guests, businesses as well. Just all these different places. I want to share them there on the 209 Journey Instagram page. And so give it a follow so you can see those reels on there. Also on YouTube, I am planning on doing more longer videos. So the reels will just be short, like most reels should be as well. But on YouTube, I am planning on potentially posting longer videos on there. And when I say longer, maybe just like 3, 4, 5 minute videos there. But more videos highlighting of people's businesses so you can get a more inside look of their business in a landscape format, not in a portrait format, just like with the reels. So if you check out the YouTube page, subscribe to it, you're not only going to find out when new episodes for the podcast get posted, but also when new videos that are just, again, centered around things to do around the 209, events, festivals, all that stuff. I'm planning on doing more of that. And again, if you subscribe to the page, you'll be notified when those get posted. That's the perfect place for that because I do post the YouTube video. Generally, that gets posted before it gets to the podcast apps. Again, give or take, not by like a whole lot time differential, but it is much quicker to post on there because by the time it takes for the apps to get the podcast episode, YouTube's already got it posted. So keep that in mind there for the YouTube page. But also, if you like watching videos on YouTube, that's your spot to do so. But help me grow that because I do want to monetize it sometime in the future. I know it's going to take some time for that, but I'm building my way towards being able to get to that point. So that would be awesome if you could hit that subscribe button on YouTube page. If you're listening on the podcast right now, hit the follow button, subscribe, whatever it's called on your favorite podcast app. That would be really awesome. So you do get notified whenever new episodes get posted. If you're on Spotify, if you wouldn't mind leaving a rating for the podcast in general, and also leaving a review if you're listening on Apple Podcast. I think other apps, other websites to listen to podcasts might have their own review feature or maybe just like rating feature. But if you could do that, that would be really fantastic because it really does help me to have my podcast reviewed on there. Also on Apple Podcasts. I want to hear what are things that you really like about the show. What are things that you would like to see on the show, whether it's on the podcast itself, whether it's maybe like videos for the show. Maybe you have this favorite place that you like to go to somewhere in the 209, maybe your favorite coffee shop, your favorite restaurant, your favorite clothing store, whatever it might be. Let me know if it's something you want to see featured because in all likelihood, I could probably go and invite the business owner to actually be on the podcast as well. And then also do a video, do more to help out that local business. So let me know, send me a message on the website, the209journey.com, or on the socials, on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram might be the best place to send me a message on there. I do check that more often than Facebook, but if you prefer on Facebook, that works as well. So just feel free to do that so that way I find out more about them. And again, I can have them featured on here on the podcast and on videos as well. That's what this podcast is about. If you're new here, thank you so much for listening to the episode. I invite you to listen to other episodes as well or watch them as well because season 3, all the episodes of the season are on video as well. So check them out. I've had a lot of really awesome guests going all the way back to 2021 when I first started this podcast. Season 1, season 2, this season. Fantastic people. So if you can go and check out their episodes, share their episodes with a friend, help me grow this podcast, it would really mean a lot. And shout out to everyone out there who's shared the episodes one way or another, whether it's through word of mouth, whether it's on the socials, on sharing the link to the website. All that has been really phenomenal. And it just helps me grow this podcast so much more because right now it's just me. I'm the one who actually reaches out to guests, coordinates interviews, produces the show, does the hosting here on the podcast. In the future, though, I am planning on incorporating more people onto the team, and we're actually having a team here and not just a one-person team. So be on the lookout for that. But for now, I do a lot of things here. So your referrals, your shares of the podcast really do go a long ways in helping me grow this project that I started 3 years ago that I hope to just keep on going as long as I'm able to, as long as podcasts are a thing, and even beyond, as long as I have a platform to post my podcast, to post the videos, I plan on keep on doing this so that way everyone gets to learn a little bit more about the people from the 209, what they have going on. That's going to keep on going. So thank you so much for helping me in my goal to continue to showcase people's stories of the 209. And with that, y'all, again, thank you so much for listening to tonight's episode. You'll hear me again next week here on the 209 Journey podcast.